a computer before you start writing. If you have a notepad on your phone, start penning down ideas or start thinking. You write the first draft, you send it to your lecturer, they do a review or they send it back to you and make corrections. I think that's just how you should do with your CV. Remember, this is what is going to bring you money. This one is going to bring you gold. Hey gorgeous people, you're welcome to my channel once again. My name is Gloria and you're welcome to RIA'S cabin. In today's episode, we will be talking about our declutter series. If you do not know, I started the series recently. In today's topic, we will be talking about writing that CV. I think it's about time we get our CV going. Well, I just have to turn the cameras because I needed a light. We are gradually crawling into winter. I need everyday light as much as possible. Now, talking about that CV. What is a CV? It's a curriculum vitae. That is how I can pronounce it.
If you can pronounce it in another way, please pronounce it.
You've been in that job for far too long. I want to be in that position for quite a while now. You need the change. Or peradventure, you're not working at all. It's about time to start writing your CV. The essence of this video is not to tell you what to write in your CV, but basically to tell you how to go about penning something down to get something going. Except you're a genius that whenever you pick up your pen, the thought just keep flowing. Writing your CV does not come very easy. Most persons have gone about paying people in organizations to write professional CV, but trust me, if you can do the research, you can do most times even better job than this CV organization. Not that I'm downplaying importance, but the essence is if you can do your research enough, you would be able to know that CVs differ, different patterns, styles of writing a CV. It's just like when you know about writing your dissertation or your assignment, 5,000 words. It's not so hard to write, even 15,000 words, but most times it's about picking up the pen, like starting. It took me over about 3 months plus before I got determined fully to start writing my CV. And trust me, when I started, I was able to flow because at that point I was mentally prepared. Like I was in every way motivated and start applying for jobs. Most times, if you're not in that state of job application, you may not see the importance of writing your CV. How should you go about when writing your CV? The first thing I like to say is, number one, you have to be motivated enough to sit down and pen down something. That if your mind is not in a sound place, a happy place, willing place, a place where you yourself have determined that I have to go forward, you will never get it done. Get your mind to be mentally prepared for the phase you're about to go into. You have to be the one to motivate yourself. Of course, I know there's a place of someone motivating you, but besides someone else motivating you, you have to have that motivation full blown for yourself. Otherwise, my dear, you will stop halfway. The next thing that you need to know is you don't have to wait until you're in front of a laptop, computer before you start writing. If you have a notepad on your phone, start penning down ideas or start thinking. Start thinking about all the things you possibly have done. And like I said, there are diverse and different types of CV based on the type of job you are applying for. And take note of things you've done before that you think may be absolutely useless. Think about them. Note it. Have you been a master of ceremony before? Have you been able to organize an occasion, set up that Bible study meeting or that women fellowship meeting, that get together, that barbecue, where you're able to get people to come together for every skill that you can accumulate that you've done over the years. In this way, by the time you're sitting down to write your CV, it won't look so voluminous or cumbersome for you to do. When you do all of this, attach years to them. Okay? So the next thing is have someone that you are accountable to. I had a few friends, really, but majorly one or two that have been very instrumental towards my applying for jobs. I've gone to that place of motivating me. Gloria, I've written your CV. Basically, it's about having accountability. Someone that's saying, okay, I'm going to write my CV at the end of this week or at the end of this month, right? And you've not done anything, that person will be able to boldly come to you and like, Gloria, I thought we agreed that you're going to start. What is the problem? If you have someone say, okay, please, if I have not written my CV by the end of this week, shout at me or tell me off or don't allow me get this done or restrict me from doing this or that. Especially if it's someone that you feel like has the power over you. For example, your husband or your spouse, your wife, or your friend, if it's your best friend, someone else. Talk to that person to be your accountability partner. It's easy for us to just get comfortable. I can't kill myself writing a CV after I have a job. When you have someone that you are accountable to, what are you doing? You're watching TV, you're watching a movie. Why? You've not gotten your CV done. All right, let's go. It's really interested for your growth. I'm sure that person is going to push you all the more to write your CV. Most things that you do effortlessly that you don't acknowledge, they may be very worthwhile. So start thinking. Think about everything, that you may have done that you think that, I was able to host about 100 people the other day in my house for the birthday celebration, and it was effortless. Everybody had food, everybody had drink, nobody went home without eating anything. There was no quarrel, there was no fight, and it was effortless and easy. That is a skill that planning that others may not be good at. You note it down. CV writing does not have to be in one day. It can take a week. It's about the build up, right? How do you build up towards that final day that you sit down to write? Don't wait until you're in front of the computer before you download everything. Take notes here and there on your path. You're walking, whatever you're doing, start noting that. They come to your head, I did that, or someone point out a good policy that you have, note it down. That is how, going forward in the long run, you'll be able to build a great CV for yourself, okay, without being a professional, in quotes. Next thing is find the words. The thing about CV writing is about looking for the right word, the right grammar, in quote, to state it. For example, you're a driver, you drive people in and out, celebrities here and there, but you just feel like, I just drive them, pick up and drop them off, right? No, you can always state in there that I do an excellent job such that I know the right time to pick them up. All through the journey, I ensure that they have beautiful music to listen to, a calm, cozy environment. I give them a very pampering atmosphere to brood that even at some point they may even start engaging in beautiful conversations with me. I feel I make them so comfortable, and at the end of the day I drop them off. That is a beautiful way to explain, rather than saying I'm a driver, I just pick people off and drop them off. You say I've picked up celebrities that have gotten no complaint, and in the end I've gotten more referrals. Okay. Another thing that you could say, for example, you're a server in a restaurant, you don't just say I serve people, I give people food. You could say that I entertain over 30 to 50 customers per shift in a national chain restaurant, or in a restaurant that is diverse. Or rather than saying I was able to stop customers from being rude. No, you could say that able to resolve conflict 100% of the time towards customer satisfaction. Did you give people the menu to choose from and then you went and bring food? Rather than saying that, you could say that I was able to memorize over 30 menus in my head while at the same time trying to serve and give accurately everybody's food. Sometimes it's by swapping words and changing words. That is how you get the best in your CV. It's about doing your research and looking for ways. It's all about a play on words. Rather than using a common word, go online, search, you see synonyms, so many ways to translate the words. What does a driver, an administrator do? Search, and you see amazing qualities that you can insert into your CV. In as much as you're going to be using nice words, don't go about lying. Don't lie in what you cannot deliver, except you feel like, okay, if I put this word, then I'll go and learn the skill, right, immediately. But don't lie. If you think you cannot deliver what you're talking about, then it's better you don't lie, because trust me, they're going to see through your ignorance, okay? All right. Next thing is, by the time you start writing, you don't have to wait until you've gotten a perfect CV. What I did at some point was to send my CV in code that I had written to friends, send it to my husband, send it to one or two persons and say, what do you think about this, right? Most times, like I said, it's always good you send it to someone that is critical, someone that can critically analyze you and not just tell you, oh, I love your words, hey, you are good, blah, blah. Like my husband always say, you have ways with words, especially when writing. But most times, obviously, it can be critical as well. But the idea is, I'm not looking forward to you telling me that, oh, I have beautiful ways of putting words. I want you to tell me critically, if you were an employer, would you give me a job? Or would you call me for an interview just by looking at this CV? So always send your CV to your friends that can be critical about it, and then ask them, do you think this thing is worth it, or is it worthwhile? Let them give you their constructive criticism. In that way, you know, as long as you're able to digest it, don't expect constructive criticism if you cannot take it. If they feel like, oh, this font you use is not nice, this pattern or this template you're using is not great, use MS Word instead. Accept it and don't be angry about it. At the end of the day, it's for your own good, okay? It's a process. Send it to them, they bring it back. It's just like you're submitting assignment to your lecturer, or you're trying to do a dissertation. You write the first draft, you send it to your lecturer, they do a review, or they send it back to you and make corrections. I think that's just how you should do with your CV. Remember, this is what is going to bring you money. This one is going to bring you gold. So you have to be critical, very invested in it, okay, to be able to get good results. Another thing that you could do is, when you start writing, make sure you have multiple versions of your CV. If you want to be an administrator, consultant, there are so many phases, there are so many sectors, right, that you can enter. You could, if you want to be a receptionist, your CV is different from someone that want to be an IT personnel. You all may all be in the category of an administrator, but you're all in different sectors. So peradventure, the type of CV you're writing is for one that would need you to display yourself, your neatness. As a receptionist, you need to be punctual. You could say that while I was in secondary school, I got an award for being the neatest student, the most punctual student, and legit, this was me. And I have them in my area. No, I'm not going to show it. You can put all of this, because now this is you showcasing yourself, that you're neat, you're punctual, you're good in whatever you do, okay? You're putting it out there that you've also been recognized about these features about you. That is a good quality to put as a receptionist. You may need to include awards, right, to put that punctuality in the part of a receptionist. But if in the other areas you don't even need anything like neatness, punctuality, as long as you can work from home, or the other role does not need you to be neat, in quotes, all they need you to do is focus and deliver. You don't have to put that section. Write different types of your CV. Just how you're applying for different job roles, you'll be able to submit different things. At the same time, write different cover letters. It's not easy to just be writing cover letters back and forth that job role. Make sure you write a beautiful cover letter that if you think you cannot be swapping, you can easily just take out the names of the companies and the job roles and insert the new one that you're putting. In that way, you're saving your life from so many other things. Another thing I would like to say is read out this CV to yourself. How does it sound? Does it sound great in your ears? Are there too much repetitions? Are there connecting words that are making your CV sweet to read? Or they're just wasting words back and forth? Read these things out. They'll be able to also sound better or worse in your ears, okay? Other thing you can do is give it to a friend, give it to someone else that can read, and someone that acknowledges punctuation. Don't just read randomly, read with meaning. Sense grouping, there's something they call sense grouping. The way you read, a collection of sentences together before you continue the other. If it flows, check for errors while you're writing your CV. You don't want to write what they'll start correcting. It's not a teaching job role, but almost they're correcting everything you're writing about. You don't have to be perfect, but why not be close to perfect in your CV application? Trust me, I am far from being an expert, but God has helped me in writing, you know, just a few, okay? The more you write it, the more you practice, you get better at it. Another thing is, there are some apps or there are some templates, like if you go on Google or on the internet, right, and just search CV types of CVs and forms, you can click on the picture, the image part, and you see pictures and pictures and pictures and templates, diverse templates of how to write a CV. So they're just different examples, cover letters, everything is all there. Another thing you could use is, this is no advert, it's a Canva app. Right? It has templates for resume, you know, cover letters. Honestly, it is amazing. I wish they would pay me for this. This is no advert, but using Canva app is also very good. It will show you templates on how to go about writing your CV. I tell you how to go about it, but honestly, I won't encourage you using that format. Most times, it's always best that you write your CV using Microsoft Word, because it's just more mature, more better, except it's like you apply for fine art, like art positions, you know, that need to see your creativity. Then you can play on designs using templates such as those in Canva. Now, most times those Canva templates may not conform to the patterns that they're using. Maybe it's PDF, I think, JP format. I believe they have so many formats. You want to make sure that your format that you're saving your CV in is one that conforms to the standard of the organization you're applying in. Another thing is, when you're doing your research, you would see that not every organization, countries allow for you to attach your pictures to your CV. There are some that will show you, oh, you need to apply picture because they want to see that. But maybe if it's modeling is appropriate, that they will say, okay, want to see your picture. There are other countries that do not. They are like a strict no in you applying with the picture, because they try to be as neutral as possible, not to discriminate against race, color, whether male or female. Always do your research. Don't want to submit a CV that has your picture attached to an organization that is strictly, or in a country that is strictly a no. So these are some of my little tips, and I'm sure that there are many other tips out there that would help you to write your CV. Do your research. I'm sure it will go a long way, but this is from one sister to another sister or brother out there. It's time for you to move. In Deuteronomy, to the children of Israel, God was telling them that you've gone around this mountain long enough. It's time for you to move forward. There's always room for more. There is a place called there. Write your CV. It may look a bit difficult, but by the time you start, it just flows. The Holy Spirit just keeps pushing, and I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to watch our previous episodes on our declutter series. We've talked of forgiveness, decluttering your house, and many others. Okay, depending on when this video is going to come out, well, who knows. Thank you so much for watching this video. In my next episode, I'm going to be talking about applying for that job. You don't want to miss it. Thank you. Take care. Bye.